Okay, as you can see, we're going to add some whimsy to my garden. We're planting sunflowers and we're going to plant squash. I'm only doing two kinds of summer squash. I'm going to do zucchini and crookneck squash. Now, what's the difference between a winter squash and a summer squash? A winter squash keeps over the winter. You can put it down in your basement and it'll save again until spring. Zucchini and crookneck squash don't do that. So they're known as summer squashes. So this teepee we made years ago. It's just tree branches that we lashed together and with a bit of recovered fencing around. I'm going to plant my mystery cucumbers around that I didn't label them, so I'm not sure what kind these are, but it's going to help my kids munch and play and just have a good time. When my little girl was little, this was a fairy house. Now that it's mostly my little boys playing in it, it's a great place for a Hot Wheels track. So this is what we are going to be planting. Up at the front of my row, I'm planting the summer squash. The end of the row, I'm going to be planting Hubbards, scallops, Big Mac's pumpkins, acorns, sweetmeat, butternut, and pumpkins. Now, I don't know if they're all going to fit in this row, so I will plant on the end of rows, but it'll give you an idea of how we do it. Okay, on one side of this row, I'm going to plant the squash. On the other side, I am planting, these are the big sunflowers.
Big mammoth.
Yeah, big mammoth. Thank you, bud. Mammoth sunflowers. Now, I plant these along in my garden for a couple of reasons. It provides shade, it provides protection, and they're like the little sacrificial lamb. When the caterpillars come calling, they'd rather munch on the sunflowers than my veggies. Plus, I really like how they look. They're fun. So, on one side of this furrow is going to be pumpkins, or the squash. On the other side is going to be sunflowers. Now, you're going to want to plant them 3 to 4 seeds per hill, and you're going to want to space them. The package will say like 6 feet apart. I don't do that. They kind of like the company, so I only do 1 to 1.5 feet apart. And I never ever have thinned these out for the strongest. They all will produce and all will be great. One thing about the winter squash, they like calcium too. So as you go throughout the summer, save your eggshells. When you have eggs, crunch them up, sprinkle them down the row, and as they decompose, they're going to add calcium to your soil. I'm going to get to planting.